Hi guys, this is Ryan from RFE Smokehouse. So I was talking to my buddy Brian the other day from Nerd Culinary about how we can apply barbecue principles to other types of cuisine. So I started looking around for one of my favorites, beef stroganoff, and I noticed that there really wasn't any kind of video out there. And there's a couple for smoked beef stroganoff, but I kind of feel like they missed the mark. So I kind of wanted to put my spin on it and see how I could make it to what I believe it could actually be. So stick around. I started this whole cook with a chimney full of royal oak lump charcoal. I'm a firm believer in using what you have. I didn't have any fire starters, so I just used a paper towel that was soaked with a little bit of cooking spray. Nice hit from the torch, and that's all it takes. It'll burn for quite a while. I'm actually pretty impressed with using this method. Once the coals are nice and hot, and pretty much all white, then I just dumped them straight into the firebox. They kind of all pile up in the middle, so I just use a poker to move them around. And then I'm going to add my first split once everything's all lit. I'm using hickory on this cook. You can use cherry, oak, whichever you prefer. Hickory is just what I happen to have at the moment. I'm seasoning this with Blues Hog's Bold and Beefy rub. It works really well for this. I figured with the stroganoff, the garlic, and the onion that it has in it would add a really good flavor profile. You want to be sure and get good coverage on this, kind of coating the entire piece. This is a pretty large chunk of meat. You're probably not going to over season it very much, so you want to get all as on there as you can. You also notice that I patted it on there. You don't want to rub because that'll actually pull the seasoning off of the meat. I'm running my smoker at 225 degrees. It's a good temperature for a chuck roast. Kind of helps it absorb quite a bit of smoke. I do have a water pan in here. I like that to balance out the temperature. And as always, thin blue smoke is absolutely crucial for these cooks. While the chuck roast is in doing its thing, I'm going to go ahead and chop up 8 ounces of baby portobello mushrooms. Kind of get them in a pan ready. I'm just doing about 1/4 inch cuts. That's about all. I'm also going to cut up, I have a medium-sized Vidalia onion here. I like the Vidalia, it gives a little bit of sweetness. Once I get all that peeled off, these had a little bit of a bad spot in the middle, but they're still fine. I'm just doing a coarse chop on these. Nothing fine. It's all going to cook down in the end. Now I'm about 3 hours into the cook, and this is getting a really good color to it. So I'm just going to go ahead and pull it out and put it in the pan with the onions and the mushroom. In my shaker here, I've got 20 ounces of water mixed with 2.5 teaspoons of better than bouillon beef. I just kind of want to pour that all over, fill in the pan, get all those nice good bits out of the bottom. And then I'm just going to cover the whole thing with foil. I want to get that nice and tight around the edges. I don't really want to get any air escaping out of there. I really want this to braise and get that chuck roast nice and tender. For this part of the cook, I switched to my Acorn. It's just a lot more fuel efficient. I don't have to constantly check on it. It's not going to absorb any more smoke since it's in the foil, so might as well just go the most efficient route. After about 2 hours in the pan, the chuck roast is up to 203 degrees. That's a good temperature to pull. So I'm going to go ahead and thicken up the juice. Like I said, I like to use what I have. Normally I would use cornstarch and water slurry, but all I had was some flour. So I just mix that with cold water, stir it in there, and let it thicken away. At this point, it's a good time to go ahead and start shredding the beef as well. Now this has gotten really tender, so it's going to pull apart pretty easily. Once the beef is all shredded, I'm just adding a little bit of kosher salt to taste. And it's a good time to put in the sour cream. Sour cream is definitely a major part to the stroganoff. It kind of gives it that tangy flavor. So I'm adding 8 ounces of full fat sour cream, and then I'm just going to stir it in. Once I get that stirred in, I'm actually going to let it sit on the smoker and just absorb a little bit of smoke while I'm cooking the egg noodles. And plating on this is really simple. I just like to serve over some egg noodles and then garnish with a little chopped green onion. So I really like how this turned out. The smoke definitely added whole new layers of flavor that elevated the classic to something amazing. So what are some dishes that you guys feel could benefit from some smoke? Comment down below. And if you like what you see, please like and subscribe. Don't forget to hit the notification bell. If you're on Facebook or Instagram, go ahead and follow me at RFB Smokehouse. And if you get a chance, check out Brian at Nerd Culinary. He's got a really good page going on there. All right, thanks for watching.